Hey everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is called Who is Pushing Your Buttons? And we're going to find out who is trying to get a reaction from you. And this could be multiple people that pop up in the reading, or one person that pops up in the reading, or a particular someone that you have on your mind. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. We have pile number 1, which is the Snow Leopard. If you're feeling pile number 1, you'll choose the Snow Leopard. And for pile number 2, we have the Black Jaguar. If you're feeling this image, you'll choose pile number 2. And for pile number 3, we have the Grizzly Bear. If you're feeling the image of the grizzly bear, you'll choose pile number 3. And with that, I am going to go ahead and get into the reading. For those of you that are interested in following me on social media, I'm at Natalie H Astrology on Blue Sky. And for those of you that would like personal readings with me, whether that be tarot or astrology, details for how to receive one are in the description box below. And with that, let us begin. Okay. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Snow Leopard, and today's reading is called Pushing Your Buttons. Who is trying to get a reaction from you? So pile number 1, we're going to find out. This could be multiple people, one person. Let's anchor into the reading and take a deep breath. Feel like I'm a mushroom sitting here for some reason. Pile number 1. Maybe some of you just had mushrooms, or you hate mushrooms, or you like them. Like those psychedelic mushrooms. Pile number 1. Let's go ahead and see. It's so funny. I'm sitting here and I feel like a mushroom. Pile number 1. So let's go ahead and get into, okay, I got something about a helicopter. All right, maybe you guys saw a picture of one, or you heard about one on the news, or a bug that has wings like a helicopter. Okay, I'm also seeing that. Pile number 1. Like a big moth, or just a big old flying bug. You know how we love those. Those can really push our buttons too, because we scream at the top of our lungs and say, "What is that?" So let's go ahead and get into your reading. And helicopter is kind of that energy of hovering over something, isn't it? So anyway, pile number 1, let's go ahead and find out who is pushing your buttons. And this could be in a cute, fun, teasing way, or in a much more malicious way. We shall see. Who is pushing pile number 1's buttons here, and why? We're in the middle of a Mars-Pluto opposition right now, so it's a good time to think about where we can be reactionary, or our buttons can get pushed. We have the 9 of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Okay, now this could be somebody that has a lot of fears. Pile number 1, like somebody that is afraid of everything. Somebody who is like, oh, don't eat that, it has salmonella, or don't, like, you know, don't go walking there at night. It's, you know, something bad could happen. Like somebody who's really paranoid maybe sometimes, or has like, little mini freakouts every time you do something, and perhaps maybe it kind of rattles you too as well. Pile number one, and sometimes those people can be well-meaning in our life, like, you know, they're trying to be helpful and they're trying to you know, share their wisdom and whatnot, but it ends up making us feel very jittery and on edge when people are like that sometimes. It's like, oh, don't touch that. Oh, don't do that. Oh no, that's don't eat that. That causes, you know, whatever disease, that type of thing. And people can be get really on edge, nervous, paranoid. And especially if you had a parent that was like that could be very nervous and anxious and then would pass that down to you, okay? And it would make you feel very tired sometimes, I feel like, pile number one, because it's kind of controlling in a way, and it does get a little OCD as well, too. Like somebody, if they are very like nervous or you know, people can get kind of tired being around that sometimes too. So pile number one, we've got the Moon card, okay? We got the Queen of Swords, okay? And we have the Star card, okay? Again, I feel like this is somebody who brings you like a lot of anxieties and things like that, and tells you about their bad dreams all the time, and is constantly maybe trying to interpret your dreams all the time, because I instantly with that Moon card got something about somebody having a bad dream and talking to another person about it, or somebody offers a very, you know, gnarly interpretation to a bad dream. And I feel like you guys are kind of like, you know, the Star card coming through here, pile number one, where you're like, it's going to be okay, where you're kind of like distancing yourself maybe from the situation, or you're kind of like, they're coming with a lot of like heavy mental load, anxieties, not sleeping. And maybe this person too sometimes is like mentally not well, and they're coming from a place of, and when they're really tired, it's when they really start in on things. And I feel like you've done your best to not ignore it, but to just kind of be in your own world, and to stop kind of like listening to it all the time, and to kind of like take what they say in one ear and then pour it out the other ear type of thing. And it's somebody who likes to kind of like go on about their anxieties, or, you know, things that are horrible, or talking about like, basically it's their anxieties and fears of the unknown that I feel like, you know, is causing them to be that way. And I just got the word retaliation about something, so hopefully there's no type of retaliation, or this person could be worried that somebody's always trying to retaliate against them and is always trying to recruit you to their campaigns, that type of thing, pile number one. So, and I feel it's very strongly a feminine energy coming through in this reading, pile number one. But and again, some of you could have had like a mother that was not mentally well, or like, you know, a friend of yours that was like this, or a boss that is like this. But let's go ahead and take a look. And you're like probably throwing your hands up and saying, Natalie, this happens to me all the time. Like people just come up and like dump, and they just like run on sentence, talk and dump everything on me. And I'm just listening. I'm just, you know, there listening, and things kind of go in one ear and out the other, but I can't really like listen to it anymore. We have Hermit, okay? And the shadow attribute is someone who withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments from others. And, you know, this person could have some physical things that are not going well for them. You know, maybe they have a lot of problems with, you know, gastrointestinal issues, heartburn, like a lot of the stuff that they think mentally, I feel like kind of transmits to the body. And the thing is this person may not have like a lot of people to talk to. And so like when you see them, they just kind of like, and they may be kind of withdrawn and kind of live in their own little world. And so when you see them or when you talk to them, they kind of like really, really, really tell you everything. And you're like, whoa, it's a lot. We have harmony. It's important for you to have a quiet, peaceful work atmosphere in order to thrive. Working at home or for yourself is actually best. Okay. And perhaps just being a little bit being left alone is actually what might be really be nice. Yeah, space. I feel you do need some space from this person, pile number one. And, you know, this could be, and the moon represents our home and, you know, where we feel most comfortable. So this could be somebody who works from home all the time, or somebody who's thinking has become like very skewed by the like nightmarish situations that they have kind of going on in their head. And I feel like, you know, you try to tell this person maybe to meditate or, you know, but I do feel like you need some space from this person, and they may be kind of isolated too, which also doesn't help as far as their, you know, the things that they're saying. Like they may be spouting a lot of things and saying, and making you feel guilty or bad for taking space for yourself independently. We have fifth house and passion here: performance, entertainment, creativity, play, passion, pleasure, humor. Okay, having fun. The fifth house is where we have fun and we enjoy ourselves. And it may be that, you know, someone always has something negative to say, like, oh, don't go do that. Like they're riding a ride here at the fair or at the playground or something. This could have been somebody who's always worried about the rides at the county fair, or is worried about the playground, or is always like, you know, giving their opinion on things like, oh, I heard that roller coaster like crashed. And you know, they can really cause a lot of anxieties, especially like this is somebody that I feel like would never ride a roller coaster, or somebody who could watch videos on like, you know, what happens on roller coaster. Now, I've watched those videos myself, pile number one, but like what happens, like the world's craziest roller coasters that broke down in the middle, you know, it's kind of like this type of stuff that can really start to play on our fears and keep us from exploring and having a good time and playing and acting like children and enjoying our favorite pastimes and things like that. It's like, I kind of feel like maybe you're not able to do that, or that isn't possible as much, because somebody here is like really paranoid about something bad happening, that type of thing. We have badger and endurance. Whatever you seek, your tenacity and faith will be paying off. Know that no matter the temporary outer conditions, you will manifest your desires in divine timing and in the form that is best for you. Okay. I mean, yeah, I feel like the star card is all about being independent, doing things on your own and doing things in your unique way, and having the space and the harmony within yourself in order to do that. And someone could be badgering you. Whenever I see the badger come up, like somebody could literally be badgering you. Like they won't leave you alone, or they just, you know, keep coming back to tell you things, okay? Or they keep asking you things, or they keep badgering you about things, and that could make you be like, whoa, I need some space, or I need some time for myself, or this makes me kind of want to withdraw from this person. Okay. But this person could be sometimes like really pushing your buttons by badgering you or annoying you or constantly bothering you, wanting to talk to you, wanting to speak with you. And it's like, oh man. But they're not that coherent, I feel like, and a lot of their judgments about things are based off of fear or paranoia. And I feel like you're not really into it, pile number one. And I can see you're kind of putting like mental distance between you and another person here. We have upheaval, okay? And, and this could be where somebody is telling you, oh, if you don't do XYZ 1, 2, 3, like they're trying to give you advice, because the Queen of Swords can definitely be an advice giver, about a home situation or a family situation. It's like, if you don't do XYZ 1, 2, 3, like trying to give you advice about something, then everything is gonna like, it's not going to matter at the end of the day, because everything is just going to be like a big mess, or it's going to cause everything to like, everything's going to be up in the air and be like in total disarray. Right. And, but I feel like you guys are not that worried, pile number one. I feel like you're kind of like chilling. You're the star card. You're like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's in one ear and out the other. Honestly, like I need space, and maybe some of the way you like to be alone sometimes, and you like to do art or do your passions and your creativity. And, this person is like giving you like a dire warning about something and telling you like, if you do this, like everything's going to be ruined or in total chaos, and really like badgering you about that all the time. But it really could be their life that's kind of a mess or very negative at times, I feel like, pile number one. And we have here 2 of Wands, planning. Yeah, I feel like you're planning to get the heck out of there, or you're planning. Now, for those of you that are in a living situation with someone, and like this is your parent, or this is your landlord, or this is a roommate or something like that, I definitely feel, or a boss, I feel like you're planning to get out of there. I feel like the sooner the better with this 2 of Wands. And I feel like what you guys are saying is like, no shade to this person, but I gotta like move on. And I feel like you are planning to get out of there. And I do feel like one of this person's fears is abandonment or you leaving. And like them knowing that may kind of make them even more guilting or talking about what bad could happen or looking at the negative, that type of thing. And I feel like, have faith in your own plans, because you've got something going on. Okay. And this person may try to throw a monkey wrench in the plans, or try to like bring something into it last minute. And I think you just have to stay focused on, planning around your passions, what you want to do, what makes you happy, what's good for you, and not worry about what this person is saying. Pile number one. We have friendship. Wow. So this is a person who is trying to be helpful or be your friend, but a lot of the suggestions are maybe very, you know, it says, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason, okay? And sometimes it can feel like, gee, you know, I just want somebody to kind of like leave me alone. I don't really want to hear it. I don't really want to hear like the negative side or the downside of everything. And I don't really, anyway. And I guess one thing you can think about, pile number one, is you can think about, you know, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And maybe thinking about what that reason may be. It may be where it's showing you that you need more independence, or you need to think for yourself, or you need space from other people sometimes to think for yourself, and that you actually do like being alone sometimes to pursue your passions, and that maybe sharing your plans with other people prematurely is not something that you want to do, and that, you know, if somebody is right about a situation that you're in, then at the end of the day, you're taking responsibility for the choices that you make, right? So yeah, there's a big lesson around friendship on this one, okay? Because somebody's fears and paranoias are really influencing their thinking. And while we want to be helpful to that person, we also have to like maintain a healthy distance for our own individuality. So that is what I am seeing for you in this one, pile number one. That's an interesting reading there, pile number one, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And let's move on to pile number two. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Black Jaguar, and today's reading is called Pushing Your Buttons, and finding out who is trying to get a reaction out of you in life right now. Now, this could be more than one person, all right? This could be a couple people, different roles in your life, we'll find out, or it could be just one specific person that you're like, yep, I know exactly who it is, and that person shows up in the reading. So pile number two, I want you to go ahead and focus in. When you're sitting in meditation, sometimes it helps to focus on like one dot, or like one, I was like seeing like one turquoise, you know, blue dot, for instance. Sometimes it helps to focus like that. And I just got a message here about meaning to do something but haven't gotten around to it yet. And maybe there's a task or something you guys have been putting off, and you're like, I know I've been meaning to do that and I just haven't gotten around to it. Or you said that to someone recently about a task that you're working on. So pile number two, let's see if we, okay. And I got something about heart earrings, or earrings shaped like a heart, or dangly heart earrings, or earrings shaped like a heart. So maybe somebody has an earring like that. I'm seeing like pink earrings for somebody's doll. Maybe somebody growing up had a silly pair of pink earrings that you like to put on your dolls or something like that. Pile number two. All right, they're showing me pink earrings. And let's go ahead for pile number two, please. I just also heard Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box. So I don't even know, are those stores even open anymore? But maybe somebody recently ate there, or the name Jack is important in this pile. So pile number, I also feel like Jack in the Box is kind of a wild card. Bit of a wild card energy. So pile number 2, let's go ahead and find out. Let's find out who is pushing your buttons. And sometimes, you know, when buttons get pushed, it can be in a fun, teasing way, or it's, you know, a lot. There's something else going on behind the scenes there. So we're definitely going to take a look at who is this person? Who is this person for pile number 2 that is pushing their buttons? Show me this person. Okay. Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. And we have 7 of Wands, the World card, and the Ace of Cups. Okay. All right. Well, right away in the reading, there is an energy of somebody who's very stubborn and doesn't want to give up until they prove their point or until they win the argument. And they want to, you know, get it across, right? It's funny because they want you to admit that they're right, okay? And then afterwards, with this Ace of Cups, I feel like they feel sorry, or they're like, oh, I'm sorry, or, oh, you know, sorry for being like really stubborn or being kind of mean, or fighting you on this issue type of thing. And yeah, and I feel like they kind of like apologize for it here with this Ace of Cups, pile number 2. So let's see what else we have going on here. I feel like you're more of the world energy, okay? And this reading is called Black Jaguar, and it has to do with being an old soul. It says, old soul, walk through life with confidence and grace. You have power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams, okay? And so, you know, I feel you are an old soul. The World card does show like a sense of maturity. It's related to Saturn energy and having confidence and grace and holding your head high in life. And, you know, continue even if something is over, or even if you've walked away from something and moved on to something new, you can still appreciate what was in the past. I feel like pile number 2. And I kind of feel like this is somebody that you dated in the past. I gotta be honest, pile number 2. I feel like this is somebody who could be very stubborn at times, somebody who liked to be in control at times, somebody who would like keep pushing an issue, or somebody who would continue to kind of push your buttons on something so that you wouldn't leave, so you wouldn't like close the chapter on that situation and then kind of like move on to a new relationship or something better. I feel like this person would continue to try to maybe fight with you, or try to maybe go back to like old things, like old arguments, old things that were set before, to like quote unquote settle the score, when you were like already making the decision to kind of like move on. But then they wanted the situation to, I feel like this person, even though they were argumentative, or even though they tried to push to get their way a lot, it's like they still wanted you, or they still wanted you back. So let's see here. We have gossip, okay? Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information and betraying confidences, okay? So this can be where you tell someone something in confidence, or you tell them a secret in confidence, and then they tell it to other people. And I can really see that with the Hierophant, with the picture of the Hierophant here, and then the two figures on the bottom of the card. Like, you know, perhaps something that you shared with this person was shared with others, okay? And, you know, this person could have denied it or said they didn't do it or eventually apologized about it, but we have gossip, okay? And gossip about, perhaps gossip about this relationship was also something that came up, and could have been very triggering, just general gossip and people talking about you and this person could have been a very kind of push your buttons triggering thing where you had to continually fight back against the rumors that people were spreading, I feel like. Okay, with the World card and the Ace of Cups, I feel like, I don't know, I don't know if all is forgiven is the right word, but maybe it's in the past. So let's move on to something more replenishing type of thing. And it's like healing, closing a chapter and kind of healing from something. And then somebody comes back kind of like with the same, kind of still stuck on the same issues from the past, right? Still gossiping about people, still gossiping about stuff, still really stubborn, still trying to like say that they didn't do anything. And it's like, no, I know you did something because I found out through so-and-so, through the grapevine. I know you said something. I know you did something. But I mean, I forgive you. Like, it's been in the past. It's kind of done. But at the same time, I feel like this person was kind of doing that, intentionally pushing buttons to A, see how you would react, and B, would see if you'd be willing to defend them to other people, or wanted to show you that they would defend you to other people. There is this kind of thing with the Seven of Wands of like, okay, I have to stand up for you and prove my feelings for you against these people who are kind of like gossiping and pushing buttons. So we have signs. You're putting together pieces of the puzzle from signs you are getting. Pay attention to the coincidences you experience, okay? And, signs of gossip and people talking behind back and hearing things and all this kind of stuff, while pretending to kind of be your friend. Those are all signs that, something is going on, right? You can kind of like see the writing on the wall. And we have abundance here. I mean, I feel like you knew that you were too good for this situation, pile number 2, or that you were like too mature for this. You're like, I'm not Natalie. I'm not going to get involved in gossip and he said, she said, and people trying to deliberately stoke the fires of things in order to prove their, how much they care to me and stuff like that. I feel like you're kind of grown beyond that, pile number 3 or pile number 2. I feel like you're kind of like, I don't really like that. Like, there's so much better in store for me that, and I feel like this person is saying, I can give you what you need. Like, I've changed. I'm no longer that person anymore. And I want to be that person to give you what you need and give it to you like in abundance, and give my heart in abundance. And but there are signs that this person is still kind of in that old energy of pushing buttons. And there's signs, because I do feel like this person doesn't just push your buttons, pile number 2. They push other people's buttons too, like friends, etc. They may have a thing where they just like to gossip or be in the middle of drama sometimes. And they are known to fight with people sometimes as well. Okay. And they may like to kind of hold court or be the center of attention. it's kind of an immature thing that they do, and maybe it comes from a place of feeling like they don't belong, or feeling like they got to prove themselves or show themselves, or I don't know, pile number 2, but I kind of feel like you guys are like not impressed with that. You're not impressed with people who are like gossiping and, intentionally pushing people's buttons to get a reaction out of them. I feel like you're not impressed with that. We have Pluto here, okay? And this can be where this person sometimes is very subversive, and they get very, they go to extremes a lot sometimes. And they just basically act without abandon, or they act very intensely about things and get really heated, and they will do stuff like give ultimatums, or talk behind people's back, or try to like sabotage other people, or maybe they end up sabotaging their own relationships because they are very subversive and intense, um, and they want to have the upper hand. Pluto is about power. So they want to show their power, or they want to be in control. All right. And I feel like you guys are kind of like they like to flex their power. They like to be I feel like you guys are kind of rolling your eyes right now, pile number 2, because you're like, Natalie, I know who this is, okay? And also here, for those of you that are LGBTQ and you're a guy that likes guys, I feel like for some of you, this is another guy, okay? I just have to tell you that because I'm getting that energy like of somebody who is like very gossipy and likes to kind of throw their weight around in situations, and likes to spill secrets about others and keep secrets, and likes power. They like to fight and play with power sometimes, and can be very stubborn about their opinions about others, and getting involved in things that they shouldn't even be getting involved with, and kind of like causing drama is what I feel like. Pile number 2, okay? And that, I feel like it could be, and for those of you here who are coming to this pile and you're a female and you like men, do you know a guy like that? Do you know a guy who this could also be a guy who's super macho, who talks badly about different groups of people, who is very like, wanting to use their power over others, that type of thing. Okay. I feel like you're like, no, you're not into that. Pile number 2. We have buffalo and abundance. That's 2 references to abundance. Okay, abundance and liberation are finally on the way. It comes to you now to remind you of the amazing manifestation of gratitude. You will always have plenty when you express gratitude to every part of creation. Okay, I feel like you had a glow up. I feel like when this relationship ended, like you guys had a major glow up, or you started making more money. You started feeling more abundant, more grateful. Like your maturity just went up the charts. You started to see how this person's angry, destructive, gossipy, mean-spirited behavior could somehow was like immature, and how it didn't really fit in with your life and where you were headed. And so I feel like, you were always more of the mature one. You were always more of the one focused on healing, love, grace, gratitude. And because of that, your life is becoming very abundant. And anyway, I feel like this person is really trying hard to fit in or figure out where they go next with what they've done, but I feel they can be destructive at times and pushing other people's buttons and getting under their skin and all of that. Pile number 2, okay? And maybe even sometimes with the 7 of Wands there and Pluto, maybe even sometimes being physically threatening or physically intimidating. If they're not actually threatening, it could be being very physically intimidating. And, you know, sexually, I also feel like that person could have been very explosive and demanding of what they want. Okay. And they may even have a very mean streak when it comes to sexuality or needing to be in charge or needing to others to be, I don't know, subservient in some way to them. Okay. So sexually, they could be very aggressive, I feel like, as well. Pile number 2. And I feel you're on a completely different trip over here. You're on a completely different thing. We have mischief. Yeah, this person is always up to some kind of mischief. Okay? They're always up to some kind of like little boy or little girl behavior. You know what I mean? They're always, it's like a kid who's always up for mischief. Always doing stuff that is annoying. And you can see these birds are kind of attacking this cat here. And this cat's like, what are you doing? Like this bird is like picking at it and trying to like bite its tail. And the cat's like, what are you doing? And this person maybe thinks that they're funny or thinks that but they gang up. I feel like with 1, 2, 3, or 4 other people, they gang up on somebody and then they start picking at them or attacking them in some way. Okay. And they think it's funny or they like causing mischief. And it's like, we have the 7 of Wands again, which is resilience here. And this is coming out under you. So I feel you're the world and the Ace of Cups in this reading, and they're more of the 7 of Wands. But this 7 of Wands belongs to you in the sense of I feel like you could, quote unquote, handle them. Pile number 2, like when they were being very mischievous or really acting out of pocket, I feel like you were very resilient and non-reactive, and that, you know, you could handle what they were. You've been around people who are like this a lot, so you know how to act or you know what to do. But I also feel like you just got sick of it too. You're like, why would I spend my time around that energy, like just fighting against whatever, when I could, and building up my resilience when I already have enough resilience from fighting through things in my life and overcoming things. At this point, I want to focus on love and beauty. At this point, I want to focus on healing and abundance, right? And maybe this situation did make you a lot more resilient. We have denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness, okay? And maybe in the past, there was some denial about this person where it's like, oh, you know, I forgive them, or they'll get better, or, you know, this is just how they are. They're trying to become a better person. You know, if I just hang in there a little bit longer and be patient through it, then, you know, good things will come out of it. And, but I just heard the words, you can't fix stupid, right? Pile number 2. And this person has a real, I don't know. And maybe they deny a lot of how they are. Like you try to love them. You try to bring good things into their life, bring healing into their life, try to love them, but they don't want it, or they like are in denial of what they need, right? They need healing, they need calm, they need peace, they need love, they need cleansing, they need to calm down, right? They need to learn to love themselves, all of that. But they could be like in deep denial about those things in their life that they actually need to become a more complete person, And I think this situation could have taught you like what you need in order to become a more complete person. And I think you've been working on going out and getting that for yourself. Pile number 2. Okay. And so I think you deserve a congratulations for that, pile number 2. And I'm glad that you're moved on, and I'm glad that you're focusing on your healing and that you can see the pattern of what was going on here. So pile number 2, that is what I am getting for you, my lovelies. I hope that that reading resonated for you. Do let me know in the comments if you know who that person is, or you've got an idea of what's going on there. Let's move on to pile number 3. All right. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the grizzly bear, and today's reading is called Who is Pushing Your Buttons or Trying to Get a Reaction from You? Pile number 3. Let's take a deep breath, my friends. Let's try to relax our energy and feel light. Feel light and breezy, even if the world is heavy. We can meditate on being a feather, if you know what I mean. Pile number 3. I walked out in my apartment complex the other day and I saw these little kids playing light as a feather, stiff as a board in the middle of broad daylight. On the concrete, no less. I was like, what are these kids doing? It was quite funny. So pile number 3, let's go ahead and get into your reading and find out who is intentionally pushing your buttons. Let's see, pile number 3, let's find out. Okay. 8 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And some MIA action. We have the Ace of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Page of Wands. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like this is someone that you're currently talking to, interested in, like somebody that is on and off again, okay? Somebody where the energy is hot to trot and exciting, fun, open, creative, sexual, outgoing, okay? Curious is what I would say. Opening of conversations, reaching out, trying to talk, getting to know someone, but then things go on pause, right? With the Hangman, things go on pause. So things turn upside down. So it's like, oh, Ace of Wands, a very bold introduction, right? Very like, good, strong introduction. Someone's got a strong handshake, a sexy voice, a deep voice. Somebody is really giving a strong, powerful introduction. Page of Wands, exciting. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Planning a date. I'd like to holler at you. I'd like to talk to you. What are you up to? What have you been doing today? Like curious, 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 and excited to go do things. The Page of Wands likes to be active and going to do things like let's go hiking, let's go this, let's go sailing, let's go to the golf course, let's go rent ATVs and go drive around, or the Page of Wands could also be very into sports or acting, creativity, music, all kinds of stuff. Like lots of varied interests, lots of things to talk about. Definitely showing a lot of spark type of energy. Like the spark is there. It's like ignition. There we go. But then there's just long periods of nothingness or long periods of not talking in between there. Or there's periods of time where you don't hear from the person is not around, or the person is or the situation feels like it's on and off again type of thing. Okay. And so, yeah, that's what I'm kind of feeling about this pile number 3. We have hedonist. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrating the beauty. Like this person, wants to get very, hedonistic. There's a lot of fruit. She's eating the grapes. She looks very lush in her environment. And, sometimes the shadow attributes of the hedonist is pursuing pleasure to the detriment of one's self, indulges at the expense of other people, right? So the hedonist is like, oh, I'm just going to, Ace of Wands, I'm just going to go up and talk to anyone. I'm going to say hi to anyone. I'm going to talk to as many people as I can. I'm going to open that door to that introduction with as many people as I can, because at some point something has got to something's got to come through and is going to manifest. So I am going to talk to different people, or I am going to this is somebody who is very much about, the sexual hedonistic kind of journey of life, and with the Hangman there, this person could be very into tantric, spiritual, sexual, with the Ace of Wands, like spiritual, sexual, tantric energy, and is interested in having a partner and seeing if you're interested in spiritual, tantric energy and igniting that. This is kind of like sex magic pile, if you will. Pile number 3, okay? And this is somebody who truly does believe in the power of pleasure and the power of saying yes to things in one's life, okay? And we have somebody pouring a beer here, which, there could be alcohol or drinking that's coming out under the Hangman. And, that old liquid courage, right? When we've had something to drink, right? And we just want to make sure, somebody could really be into, psychedelics, drugs, drinking, having a good time, partying, getting into altered states, and things like that. Okay. And, sometimes that can be a good influence on us, and sometimes that can be a bad influence on us. You know what I'm saying? Pile number 3. So this says it's okay to have a job that's not very glamorous. Get some experience to help you move up in the future. Success is a process, not a quick fix. Okay, so this could be somebody who has a lot of dreams, and they don't always work out, and they start a lot of projects, but they don't always work out. There's somebody that I know who is he's at one point he wanted to have a food truck, and then at another point he was working for this company, and then another point he wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and then another point it was just all these different, he wanted to open a restaurant, right? It was all these different dreams that he was excited to start, but there wasn't a whole lot of follow through. But sometimes being around those people can be inspiring because you're like, wow, well, maybe I should live my life a little bit more hedonistically. Like maybe I should lay on this hammock and eat these grapes and let some hottie suck my toes, right? I mean, I don't know. Mile number 3, what do you got going on over there? But maybe I should have an extra beer and get kind of sloshy and caught up in the moment and just get all wild and faded and enjoy life on a more moment to moment, live in the moment, who cares, type of level. Okay. And I guess what we want to know is, and maybe there is something, the way that this person lives their life, that you're like, well, that's really inspiring, and maybe they've already made a lot of money and they already cashed out. And so they're like, yeah, I'm just going to live life as it comes, right? Versus people who have to still get up in the morning and go to work and keep a schedule, right? So that can be, and sometimes we like hanging around people that are kind of living life like that, fast and loose and having a good time and everything. But it doesn't always, and sometimes it pushes our buttons because we're like, oh, I want to be living like that too. But then we find out that oh, actually they're I don't know if my lifestyle is completely lining up with theirs. Okay. And that can be where the 8 of Cups is coming in here, where it's I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe this may not be the best thing for me. We have passion, but it's fun. But it's fucking fun. Pile number 3. Okay, La Passion, pile number 3. And this person is full of passion and they're looking right at you and they're full of life and they're full of energy. And they're asking naughty questions, or the way that they look at you is really pushing your buttons and making your heart flutter and making your face turn red. And they have a way of their infectious spirit kind of making everybody feel the passion of them, and they get real excited and animated. And somebody here could work in a bar or work at a restaurant or a place where alcohol is served, an establishment like that. But, and somebody could have a true passion for their work, even though it's not making the most money. They may feel a true calling or passion towards something. And so, yeah, I do feel like this person is pushing your buttons. They are trying to get you to relax and enjoy and get naughty with them and kind of egg you into kind of get a reaction out of you, teasing you or kind of blowing you kisses or giving you a playful little tap on the arm, or just different things like that. Definitely pile number 3. And they may even be encouraging you to go full balls to the wall and do something that you wouldn't normally do, and they're like, just go for it. We have the 4th house here, and roots, family, home, background, cooking, okay, real estate, self-care, habits, kind of being in our shell. Okay. And so this is a way to kind of get out of if you're always staying home or always doing the same thing, or kind of always having the same routine all the time, because it's safe and it feels good to kind of do the same thing all the time. I feel like this person is get out of the house, come out, meet me here, let's go there, let's have fun. And then they're trying to take you home or take you to their home. And they may joke about that. Ooh, what if you came home with me? Or what if I came home with you? This type of thing. Okay. And somebody here could have made money in the real estate industry as well, or has passive income from real estate, which allows them to kind of do whatever and live wherever. We have beaver and balance. Okay, you're being told that hard work is important, but so is quality time with your loved ones. Yeah, so this person's trying to push your buttons to get you to play hooky and leave work and maybe even show up late to work because you're so busy being passionate, okay? But so is quality time with your loved ones. The balance between work, play, family, and career must be maintained for overall wholeness and success, right? So that's something that I feel like, you are very, keen on that. Like, I can't totally let loose and completely party and go nuts. Like, I have responsibilities and I need to maintain balance in my life. But this person could be pushing your buttons to like just whatever, fuck it, enjoy, go nuts, go crazy, live life, okay? But also, too, I feel like perhaps this person has done a lot of work or is doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but then when you talk to them, they're just acting like they're living the dream and, hey man, I'm living the dream. Hey man, I'm having a good time, that type of thing. But this could be somebody who built their own home or is a home builder. Okay. And we're all at different places in our life when it comes to work, play, family, etc., career. We're all at different points. Some people are at a point where they can just go crazy. And some people are not at a point where they can just say fuck everything, and yet they do anyway, right? So it's something to think about there. We have battle. Wow. And yeah, this is, there could be arguments about the home or how much time is spent maintaining the home, or there could be some battle lines around that, around balance and the need to work and play and have fun and the need to be responsible, okay? And this person could have had fights with their prior significant other. I do feel like this is a person who likes to go and play. So they could have left, their spouse back to like take care of everything and take care of the home and do all the work. And I do feel like they really could have pushed the buttons of their spouse or the person that they lived with or were together with, because while they left their spouse to kind of take care of the home and take care of things, they would just go off and live the beautiful dream of life. And so there could have been that could have been a reason for a divorce or a separation. And sometimes with the Ace of Wands and the Hangman, it's like, are you really taking life seriously? Are you really like committed to something? Are you just like having a good time bopping around and enjoying, living life, I'm living the dream, man, that type of energy? Or, are you going to be there? Am I going to have to go looking for you when I need you? Or are you going to be there for me when something comes up? And, this person may be quite the flirt, and their energy for things may be up and down because of the Hangman. Like one time they're interested, one time they're not. And it depends on where their attention goes, right? So I could see that being hard if you were married to this person or had kids with this person. They just don't, it seems like they're kind of youthful in their, even if they're 60 years old, they seem very youthful to me, that they just want to live life and live the dream. And so what does that do to the partner then? What happens to their partner, right? And I think there could be a lot of button pushing and fights around that. We have 10 of Cups and completion here, okay? And this is where someone is really, and this person could be a really good salesperson or saleswoman or salesman, where they can really sell it. Like life is beautiful, life is amazing, life is meant to be lived in the present moment, and you're meant to drain basically all the enjoyment out of life that you can, and like suck the marrow dry and kind of, you know, live in complete happiness and harmony, and you know, let your heart be full of love, and like selling this very beautiful dream of what something could be. And perhaps, you know, this person is very, very good at getting people to fall in love with them, and very good at getting people to like fall in love with the dream of them and what it could be. And it makes you start imagining your future and what would happen if we had kids or got married. And you know, I think this person, here's my opinion, pile number 3. I think this person is fun. I think they like to play. I think they have a lot of dreams. And if you're at a place in your life where you have the ability to play and have fun and have a lot of dreams, and I would, you know, go for it, have a good time. But if you're expecting this person to be like father of the year or mother of the year, or to be like taking care of the homestead, and like, I feel like this person, when it comes down to responsibilities, when it comes down to being at home and having responsibilities, there's a lot of battles around that with this battle card, okay? And this person's going to passionately pursue their right to have pleasure and enjoy life over many other things. So my question, you know, is what's the beautiful dream that they're selling? And, you know, can they live up to the hype of that beautiful dream that they're selling? Now, if you're in a place in your life too where you're like, yeah, I mean, I don't really have any responsibilities either, and I can live out of a suitcase, and I want to go play and have fun too. And it's like, well, hell, you know, pack it up and, you know, hit the road and have a great time, you know, and send us all a postcard, pile number 3 from the road type of thing. But if that isn't where you are in your life, then, you know, I do think a strong look at, you know, reality is important as well here too. So I just want to bring that up. We have self-esteem, okay? And this person makes other people feel really good about themselves. Like they're very forward with the comments that they share. They're very affirming of other, they may be a big words of affirmation type of a person. With, you know, the Hangman, Neptune, they may be into poetry, and they like to like say things that are very impactful. They make a person feel good. I feel like they're very good. Like they push your buttons in a positive way, in the sense of, damn, I feel good when I'm around this person. I feel caught up in their excitement, in their energy. They give me nice compliments. They make me feel good about myself. They make me feel like the dream is alive and that all good things could happen to me and things like that. Okay, so I feel like, you know, I feel like this is something that they're very good at as far as pushing buttons, but in a positive way. But when we talk about pushing buttons, it's there's an element of wanting to get what they want, right? And I think it's important to remember here, pile number 3, that you know, you have value and worth, and to be happy with who you are, and that you are complete as a person in who you are, and to be happy with who you are as a person, because you're pretty amazing, pile number 3. Regardless of whether this person is in your life or not, you have a lot to bring to the table, and to always remember your value and your worth, and that your dreams and how you feel about yourself is very important as well. So pile number 3, I am going to leave it there, my friends. I wish you all a very beautiful day ahead. Take care.